All right, so big news. Major pharmaceutical company Johnson & Johnson was ordered to pay $1.64 billion due to off-label promotion and violating the False Claims Act. Two whistleblowers, Jessica Penelo and Christine Brancaccio, they're former sales reps for Janssen. They accused Janssen, which is a unit of Johnson & Johnson, of improperly marketing their HIV drug Prezista and Intelence for off-label uses, which means uses not approved by the FDA, not in the package insert for the product. They claim that Janssen falsely promoted Prezista as being lipid neutral, suggesting that it didn't impact cholesterol or triglyceride levels. Of course, this is a claim not supported by the FDA-approved label. So now what? And basically, they allege that Janssen paid doctors to promote these drugs through dinner events, where we talked about this before, it's speaker dinner programs, which they described as really being illegal kickbacks, where they paid these physicians to come to the dinners and they expected them to prescribe. A jury found that Janssen was liable for the off-label marketing claim. And in a 35-page ruling, the judge in the trial stated that there was sufficient evidence to show that Janssen's off-label marketing was indeed a violation and a substantial factor in encouraging doctors to submit false claims and reimbursement claims to government programs like Medicare, Medicaid, so forth and so on. And so therefore, it makes it reasonably, asserted that this is going to be behavior that leads to false claims being submitted by these physicians. And that's, of course, where the violation of the False Claims Act comes in. Now, what's the False Claims Act, if you're not sure? It is a federal law that allows the government to penalize individuals or companies, for that matter, who knowingly submit false claims for payment to government programs, like, for example, I mentioned before, Medicare or Medicaid. So it remains to be seen what's going to happen, but it also includes a provision for whistleblowers. So it allows private individuals like these two sales reps, Penelo and Brancaccio, to sue on behalf of the government if they believe fraud has actually occurred. Now, if successful, the whistleblowers can actually receive a portion of the recovered funds in the suit, right? So we'll have to again see where this goes. But in this particular case, the off-label marketing led to government reimbursements potentially, and these are for uses of the drug that weren't approved by the FDA, and that makes it a violation of the False Claims Act. So again, we'll have to see what's going to happen ultimately with this ruling. Remember, even MSLs, medical science liaison, we've talked about this before, they can only talk about off-label uses of a drug if it's an unsolicited request for information. Remember, they can't talk proactively about an off-label use. Now, J&J has appealed the court's ruling, so it remains to be seen what will become ultimately of the judgment. All right, look, I hope you enjoyed this content. Make sure you follow, like, subscribe to this channel for all the latest and greatest in pharma and healthcare. We'll talk soon, guys.